Well, hello and welcome to another Hazard Jones video. Today I am going to do how to survive your first day in Terraria. It's a pretty new game. I've watched some other videos on this and it looks like some people are having some issues with it because it's not quite as descriptive as it could be. So I'm going to go ahead and try to make a little video here that shows you how to get through your first day. This other little guy you see walking around here, this is your guide. He spawns with you. If you right click on him, he's going to give you some helpful information about the game and different things you should know. So I'm going to try to do that for you as well. Be a little bit more descriptive than he is, maybe. You're going to see that I have some inventory already. That's because I actually made this video already, but I had my microphone on mute, so it didn't record anything I was saying. Plus I didn't really like the world that it spawned me into, so it wasn't a bad thing. So anyways, when you first start the game, you are going to start with this, your pickaxe and your axe. So what you do is when you have your pickaxe selected, this is how you mine your stuff. You just use your cursor there and you hold down your left click button pointing on what you want to mine. So you can just go ahead and mine up some mats if you want. It's also going to be your starter weapon for you because you're not going to have anything else yet. So there's not really a need to mine up anything yet. One thing you are going to want to do is just kind of take note of where you spawned at in the game, because if you die, this is where you're going to go back to. So that's kind of where you want to start building your starter home. So what you're going to need is wood, and you're going to need a decent amount of wood to be able to build yourself a decent little starter home. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come through here and start harvesting down some wood. Everything in this game stacks up to 250 stacks from what I've seen. So you're going to want to go ahead and just get a decent amount of wood. You can watch the sun up there in the sky. It's going to kind of be like your clock. It kind of ticks around like a clock. So it's kind of 11 o'clock right now, 11 a.m. So you can kind of keep an idea on it, because you're going to want to get a house built before your first night. It isn't quite as lenient as Minecraft in that sense that you can maybe get by without a house. You could definitely get by without a house if you put it on peaceful in Minecraft, but you know, a lot of people don't like doing that. What I was just mining up there, if you noticed it was a different color than the other, is copper ore. Copper is very useful. It's how you build your starter armor and your starter weapons and stuff like that. Something else I like to get is just a few stone blocks if you're not already on a stone surface for your spawn point, so you can have a nice stone floor for it. So, but I'm not going to worry about that because as you saw, I spawned on a stone surface. If you see this, mushrooms, grab them all. Mushrooms are very useful. They return 20 health points to you when you eat them, so it definitely is not a bad thing to have. I had the wrong thing selected there, so I put some of my copper ore back down. Just mine it back up. So we got 54 wood. That's probably a little low actually, so I'm gonna come grab a couple more trees. I like to try to mine down some wood until it hits about maybe 1 or 2 o'clock based on where the sun's at. So that'll give you plenty of time to go back and build you a nice little house, and based on how many slimes you get interrupting you and whatnot, you know, you still got enough time to get a decent amount of wood. You could probably easily, if you were just solely coming around and getting trees rather than mucking around like I am, you could easily probably get a full 250 stack by 1 or 2 o'clock based on the clock there. I'm not going to venture down into any caves or anything just yet, but if you notice down here there's a pot. Pots contain items, so if you see one, break it open. You can use your pickaxe, your axe, or your sword when you make one to break those open. There's can be health pots and all kinds of different things in there, so definitely very useful stuff can show up in there. So what I'm going to do, since I already kind of mined some of this out, is I'm going to kind of just try to level off my floor here. Plus it's just going to give me a little extra stone to make the floor a little longer. I didn't grab quite as much wood as I normally would, so I'm not going to make the floor that long anyways. I'm going to just extend this stone out just a few more blocks because I just want to have a nice decent sized room here. So what you do is you can just scroll on your mouse to choose your different things, or you can use your number buttons like on World of Warcraft or whatever to select your different abilities, and then you just left click with it selected where you want to place it. So then you go to your wood that we've gathered up, and you're going to want to build some walls. So this game is built on a 2D platform, as you can see, but it kind of acts in a 3D type world, if that makes sense. So you still have to build a back wall here where you see the sky. If you don't, you're going to have monsters spawn on you. You can open your inventory with escape by default. I switched mine to E because I play Minecraft a lot and it was a lot easier to do. So one thing that's very useful to have with you at any time actually is wooden platforms, and I'll show you why. I'm going to go ahead and make up let's just do 20 of them. I already have a few, but 20 will still be more than enough to make up here. So what you do is you place them up here. Oops, I had the wrong thing selected. So what you're going to do, I'm going to start over here instead. You just place them up here. This is going to be the roof of my house actually, and it can also work out as a second floor later. And as you can see here, you can jump through them, which is pretty cool. And you can hit down and go back down through them. You can't jump through solid logs, so it just kind of makes it, and you can't go down through solid logs either. So it just kind of makes it another way that you can get in and out of your house as needed. One of the other things that you're going to want to do is you're going to want a workbench. You're going to need this to build more items, because as you can see, without a workbench, all you can do is you can craft 1,000 silver coins into a gold coin. It does that automatically, so you don't really have to do that. You can make your workbench, you can make wooden platforms, and you can make torches. So you can do this anywhere in the world. And to make torches, you need gel and wood. You get the gel from the slimes, which there are plenty of slimes in the world, so you can go ahead and grab those. So since we have our workbench and we have it selected, I'm going to go ahead and put it down over here on the side of the house, on this side of the house. And then when you buy the workbench, you can see it opens up a whole lot more possibilities of stuff to make. So one of the first things that you're going to want to make is you're going to want to use some of your wood to do a wood wall. These are the back walls of your house, the part that covers up where the sky is. You can see brown here, that's dirt. So you kind of have a dirt wood wall. See, this puts in your back wood wall. So I know I've watched some other videos, I'd seen people that were doing their first impressions and let's play stuff, that they were having issues figuring out how to do the walls on here. If you don't have a wall, you still have the sky showing. I don't know if I said this. Monsters can spawn inside of your house. So that's one of the reasons that you want to make sure that you have the walls there. So another thing that you're going to want to go ahead and build here is you are going to want to go ahead and build some torches. So like I showed you before, you just have these and you left click on stuff here to build it when you have it selected. I already have some torches, so I'm not going to use any more wood up on them. So you select your torches, and I like to put them up in the corners of the room. I usually put them on both sides. If your house is kind of long, you can put them down on the floor too, if it'll let me. You just right click on them to pick them back up. So another thing that you know, just to kind of keep your house going, that you might want to build is some doors. I found out through the forums and stuff, to get your merchants and whatnot later on in the game, when you have to build separate houses for them. Helps if I have the axe selected. You need the axe to do wood. You need to make sure you got 2 doors on your house. The requirements are a wall, a back wall, a lighting source, a table, chairs, and I found out later 2 doors. Your guide doesn't say 2 doors. He just tells you there has to be a door there. So I couldn't figure out why my merchants weren't spawning when I had plenty of money, because that's the other requirement. You have to have a certain amount of money. So some of the other stuff that you can do is you can make a table. So there's the table. We'll go ahead and make one of those. And you can make some chairs. I actually already had a chair in my inventory. So I'll go ahead and place the table down. And I'll put a chair down. So that's basically all you have to do for your starter house here. Now, something else you might want to go ahead and do when you start your game is make a sword. It only takes 7 wood, and it's definitely helpful for killing slimes. It's a wooden sword, you know, the weakest that you can do, but that's your starter sword. It does 7 damage. As you can see, your axe only does 3 damage, and your pickaxe only does 5 damage. So you're going to get more damage towards slimes out of a sword, so it's definitely beneficial. Another thing that you're going to want to build is a wooden hammer. The benefits of a wooden hammer is if you want to take your furniture up, you hit it with your wooden hammer. It'll remove your furniture. The other thing it'll do is if you build kind of sloppy like I did here, and I purposely did it to kind of show this, hopefully I can select some of this, is, no, it's not going to let me, but you can destroy out this back wall, as you can see here. So if you decide later you want to change it from a wooden wall to a stone wall, or when you get into the dungeon areas, you can get some really cool looking brick stuff, and you can make that like you can use the dungeon bricks to make your walls. So the other thing you could do here is you can take out this dirt that was already there and put in a wood wall. If you got some furniture in the way, it's going to knock the furniture down first, as you can see that it was doing to my furniture. But you can go ahead and use this, you know, just kind of make your place look a little bit more appealing. If you're on a multiplayer, then you're going to have more people seeing it, and you might want to make it more appealing. And if you're on single player and, you know, you're slightly OCD like I am, then you're going to want to make it appealing to yourself too. Now the other cool thing that your hammer is going to do, and this will really help you when you start dungeon exploring, is it will take up these platforms so you can reuse them. Because when you start digging and mining and going down into the cave systems and all that, you're going to use these platforms to help you get in and out of some of the areas until you find some of the better weapons and whatnot, the grappling hooks and whatever that they showed in the trailer videos. So I'm kind of just chilling in the house here because I'm waiting for it to become night, because like I said, this is how to get to and how to make it through your first night in the game. So I have some sand that I got from mining up the sand through here and whatnot. What you're gonna see here is zombies. So, well, the zombie actually came down through the roof. I did not know that they could do that. So that's actually something new to me. I guess my other walls were high enough that they couldn't do that. So I'm gonna just grab some wood here and just build up this wall a little higher so they can't get up here. So there's one downside to your platform roof. I had always built my roofs having the a couple stories at once. Like I always built the houses a couple stories at once, which, I mean, I guess I could do that now. The walls should be high enough that they can't jump over. I just like to have these roofs so you can kind of get in and out of them as needed. Looks like with the spot we're in, the zombies are kind of having some issues and falling down in the pit there. I did a small map. I don't know if that makes any difference versus a large map, because where I play on with my other character is on a large map, and when it hits night like this, you're just getting tons and tons of zombies coming after you. Doesn't seem to be happening quite as quick here, which that guy you can see over there, he's having some issues. But anyways, I was going to show you this as a trick for when they actually got here, but we don't seem to be getting that many, and I didn't want to make the